Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Tonight we're going to be doing a list video, and yesterday we talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to share the love of nostalgic games and shit, so tonight we're going to be doing my top 5 Kanto region Pokemon, so Gen 1. I'll just get right into it here. Now, if you disagree with me, that's fine. You can make your own list. It's whatever. These don't have to be your favorite Pokemon, but they're mine. You're also going to see some patterns here if you know like the types of Pokemon that I like. Now, this was kind of hard to make. I had to cut a lot of people. I could have a whole bunch of like honorable mentions on this. It might have been easier to make a top 10, but I don't know. I wanted to keep it at 5. But starting right off the bat, we have Gloom at number 5. Gloom is a recent addition to my like higher echelon of Pokemon love, mostly because of my roommates in college, and if they're watching this, I'm sure they're gonna be laughing because we did this like as a group. There was like 7 or 8 of us at one point, and we did this like personality Pokemon test. Like we went around the room and like we all like voted on like what personality. So like, you know, if this guy like napped all day or whatever, he was like Snorlax or something like that. So that kind of thing. So basically modified it to your personality, and a lot of it was like disagreed upon, obviously, and it made like interesting conversation and really funny stuff. And I highly recommend maybe you should try that out with your roommates or something. It's far more entertaining than I just described it. I promise. But it was like unanimously decided that my personality matched with freaking Gloom. And I don't know why. I don't like smoke. I'm not a gloomy guy, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to say I'm a drooly, smelly thing. I don't know. But I kind of like it because he's a grass poison type. Two types I enjoy. And the more I think about it and the more I've actually tried to play Gloom in the video games, I really like him. I like Gloom a lot. I love his like demeanor. I like how he is so... He's just content with being what he is. Like, he's just Gloom. Like, he knows shit could have been way worse. He could have stayed a fucking Oddish forever. But no, he's a Gloom. He grew some arms, and now we don't have hands, but we got arms. So we're moving up, and we're going to move at our own pace. And we're Gloom, and our eyes are closed, and fuck the world, because we're just going to be Gloom. So if I'm Gloom, whatever. I'm Gloom, okay? But yeah, he's number 5. I like him a lot, but there are some better ones that are on this list. Getting into number 4, we have Cubone. If nothing else, I love how Cubone like talks in the anime, like Cubone, Cubone, Bon, Bon, Bon. I love it. I actually didn't own a Cubone in the games for like a long time, similar to Gloom, but I always loved Cubone in the anime. When Ash goes to like that weird like preppy school, like he fights some girl I think that has one of these, and I always liked the way he looked. I loved like dinosaurs when I was a kid, and I know there's a lot of more Pokemon that are way more dinosaur like, but for some reason I always liked Cubone. I like the, and I know it's not even like a fossil, it's just like a skull. I always liked it as a kid and how he throws a bone at shit and the bone meringue, and I don't know. I really liked it. Also, I didn't touch on this with Gloom. Vileplume is also cool, but I like Gloom kind of better. Again, he loses that demeanor. I'm not a huge fan of Marowak, and like I don't really like how the mask has like molded into the face. I kind of like that he just wears like this skull. And there's a lot of like speculation as to what like the lore of that shit is, but I'm not gonna get into that here. Cubone, he's a cool looking Pokemon. He's got some cool move sets. Interesting type. He's just a ground guy. But yeah, I've always thought that he was cute and kind of funny in the show, and actually pretty powerful. So Cubone definitely deserves to be number 4 on my list. Number 3, we have a derpy choice, but a choice that I really love. We have Exeggutor. Exeggutor, you have to deal with like the eggy edgelord execute to get one of these things. Then you have to have a leaf stone, but it's really worth it because I love, like I said, the demeanor of Gloom. I love the demeanor of Exeggutor. He has like 3 different faces. They usually have like different emotions going on, but they're all like relatively derpy, and he doesn't have any. I know I just crapped on Oddish for not having arms, but he doesn't have any arms, and he's just like a coconut tree guy. And he just walks around, and he knows he is what he is. He's happy with his place in life. He's an executor, but he's also surprisingly powerful. He's a grass psychic, can do a lot of really cool moves. I love my sleep inducers. He's got hypnosis, yeah, I really really like him. Of course, he gets fucked up by bug types, which but you're not really gonna run in the video games. You run into a lot of bug people. Yeah, I don't know. I love Exeggutor. I think he's a super entertaining Pokemon in the show, but he's interesting to have in your party within the game. So I love Exeggutor. If I could have Pokemon in real life, it might be like these five. Just like if I could just hand pick them, but I would definitely really go after finding an Execute and a Leaf Stone to get my own Exeggutor, just because I feel like he'd be always entertaining to hang out with. Like, you have a bad day at work or something, you come home and in your backyard is this derpy Exeggutor waddling around with his no arms, and I don't know, I just think it'd be funny. But yeah, number 3 is Exeggutor. Number 2, and this, I had trouble with this one, mostly because I love this guy's entire line, and it was kind of like, it hurt me to make this like personal preference. But number 2 is Gengar. Now, I love poison types, are my favorite. I also really really like ghost types. I really like the color purple overall. So this guy, he's right up my alley. I love his demeanor. I love his like fiendish smile. I really wanted to give this to Haunter, because to be honest, when I was first playing Pokemon back in the day, I could get a Haunter, but I could never really have Gengar, because to get Gengar you have to trade. And I didn't have anybody to trade with, sad face. But, yeah, if you do have someone to trade with, or, nowadays you just use the internet, you can get a Gengar, and he's really, really, really cool. And, like, I just love his, like snarky attitude, and, like, yeah, he's got a really cool move set, just a really cool character design. I love his whole family. Ghastly, Haunter, all of them. I could have put any of them really here. Definitely Pokemon I would want in real life. I would definitely go to some fucking haunted mansion or whatever if it means I can get one of these things. But yeah, I really love Gengar. It might be a little dangerous to have a, mischievous ghost around your house if Pokemon were real, but whatever, I would just learn to deal with it. So yeah, Gengar's number 2. And number 1, this one was easy for me. He's always been my favorite Pokemon, probably forever. And he basically just checks everything I like off the board. His color, I like his design, I like generally when you see him, his like demeanor. He can be tough when he wants to be. Great typing. I don't know if I had said that already. But I love me some Muck. Muck is like I'm miasma, so you should have seen this coming. I know a lot of you were probably expecting coughing and wheezing on here. When I'm playing the game, I don't like to have the Pokemon that the villains necessarily have, and it always bothered me that like coughing and wheezing were always used by Team Rocket. Now, those are great Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. I love their typing, but Muck always stood out to me, and I think it's mostly because of the anime. And Muck has so much more personality, at least with Ash's Muck, than like coughing and wheezing do in the anime. I love Ash's Muck really specifically because he just like hugs people. He just jumps all over Professor Oak and stuff, and I always thought that was funny. And I like how, growing up, I in my why am my name's Miasma video, I talked about how I really I'm attracted to like poisonous sort of entities and things that people would normally avoid by just like looking on their surface. And I like that about Muck. Like I pictured Muck, being something that a lot of people overlook or a lot of people like judge just by how it smells or how it looks or something. But he could be a really really nice Pokemon or like a powerhouse Pokemon because he can be. He's a pretty tanky wall. Um, I love him in the games. I don't necessarily mind having to deal with Grimer. I kind of feel like they could have just had Muck. Like Grimer's just like a smaller version of him. There isn't really a whole lot of difference. But yeah, I love Ash's Muck specifically in the anime, and I love every Muck that I've ever had. I've stupidly taught them like really dumb moves like Fire Blast and shit. If you didn't know, Muck can learn Fire Blast for some reason. I don't recommend it if you're trying to compete. But yeah, I love Muck. If I could have one Pokemon, and I'm probably like one of the few people on Earth that's gonna say this. If I could have a Pokemon IRL, I would really want Muck, just because I love the big smelly purple dude. Get him in my house. Let him mess up my carpets. All right, I don't care about him anyway. Whatever. So yeah, so that's my top 5 Gen 1 Pokemon. Let me know down below what you guys love, what Pokemon you guys loved from Gen 1. Do you agree with me on some of these? Do you disagree with me? Again, it was tough for me to break it down to 5, but I also had a harder time trying to get to 10, so I'm kind of glad that I stuck with 5 here. I'm going to continue this, but knowing me and my weird schedule of uploads, I don't know when you're going to see the Johto region next, but I will definitely do that. If you guys like what you see here, please check out my Patreon in the link below. Thank you to Nia-chan for her great donation this month. And thank you guys for watching so much. Really, it means a lot to me. And thanks again. This is Miasma, signing out.